geometry students. Yesterday during class, you looked at a triangle that had a parallel line to its base, and you looked at the relationships of the top to the bottom. And so when you look at the figures on your notes sheet, when I talk about top, I'm talking about the top segment of that triangle, either the left or the right. When I'm talking about the bottom, I'm talking about the bottom part of those segments. And then when I refer to total, I'm talking about the total side. And so you want to pause the video right now and write down those relationships. And so let's take a look at those relationships. We looked at that in Sketchpad and we found that the top left piece over the bottom left piece equals the top right over the bottom right. Then we looked at the top left over the total, and we found it equal to, or that would also be proportional, to the top right over the total. And then the last relationship that we looked at was the bottom left over the total was proportional or equal to the bottom right and the total. Those same relationships apply if you just have parallel lines. And so you could take A over B equals C over D, or you could take A over the total equals C over the total. And then you could also take the bottom, which is B over the total, and D over the total. In our first example, we have two parallel lines, so I'm thinking, okay, I can use these relationships. On this side, I see this is the top piece and this is the bottom piece, so I'm thinking top over bottom relationship. I'm going to take x and use x plus 12. When I go over to the other side, I see 11. I need to use this bottom piece, so I'm going to take 33 minus 11, that's 22. Remember, it's quicker if you can reduce a ratio, so I'm going to cancel here. I'm going to make this be 1/2. This is going to make it quick and easy. When I cross multiply, I get 2x equals x plus 12. Move my x, I get x equals 12. Now, some people maybe had looked over on the right-hand side to begin with, and they saw the 11 and the 33, and so they wanted to use top over total is what they were thinking, and that's going to work too. If I come over to this side, left side, my top is x, then I need my total, which you guys have to know how to do too. You just add those two together, you get an x and an x plus 12. All right, so now go ahead and cross multiply. Oh, reduce. 1/3. That makes it quick and easy. 3x. All right, this is 2x plus 12 times 1, so 2x plus 12. You can see here, move your x's. X equals 12. So I got the answer. Excuse me. 2 ways to do that problem. Let's look at the second one. I already have written my expressions in my diagram, so if you want to pause the video to write your expressions in the picture, you may. All right, so JG is parallel to RQ, so arrows there. So right away you're looking and thinking, I'm going to do those relationships top to bottom. Here's my top and there's my bottom, but if I think about that, I'm going to have 8x minus 5 over x, and I'm going to have 3y plus 2 over y, and you're thinking, I can't do that. Two variables, I have to do substitution elimination. There must be another way to do this problem. And there is. We actually have to go back and use something that we already know. I have a little triangle, and if I pull that little triangle out, this is 8x minus 5, this is 3y plus 2, and this is 8. And I have a bigger triangle. You see the bigger triangle? This is 10. You guys okay with me adding those together? I'm going to get 9x minus 5. On this side, I'm going to get 4y plus 2. The the little triangle and the big triangle are similar by AA similarity because they both share the top angle there, P. And then because of the parallel lines, you're going to get another angle. So this time I'm not going to use those relationships I just talked about. I'm actually going to use something that we learned in the previous lesson. I'm looking for corresponding sides. I'm going to use my 8 and my 10 equals. I'm going to work with my 8x minus 5. And again, I'm matching corresponding parts, single, double, 9x minus 5. Once again, I'd reduce. So now you've got your 4 times 9x minus 5. You've got your 5 times 8x minus 5. Distribute. 36x minus 20 equals 40x minus 25. Get your like terms together, move your 36. That's going to get me 4x. Move my 25, add 25. It's going to get me 5. I'm going to sneak over here. X equals 5 over 4, 1 and 1/4, 1.25. Okay, now I need to find y. Okay, so now I'm looking again. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do my 8 and my 10. I'm going to go 3y plus 2, 4y plus 2. Now, you guys, I hope nobody's thinking, I'll cancel the 2's. No, the 3y plus 2 is all together. It's in parentheses. That's one grouping. 4y plus 2 is in one grouping. It's like in a Hefty Ziploc bag. All right, same thing here, guys. I reduced the 8 tenths to 4/5. Really, you can finish this on your own. You're going to cross multiply. 4y plus 2. Oops. 5, 3y plus 2. Go ahead, guys. Multiplying. 16y plus 8. 15y plus 10. Move your 15, you're going to get a y. Move your 8, you're going to get 2. So remember that while you're doing your homework, that you're going to use some things from the previous lessons, and they're going to be mixed in there. Let's move on. It reads, if x and y are the midpoints of RT, okay, so these two are going to be equal, and y is also the midpoint of ST, so these two are going to be equal. Is the midpoint segment of the triangle mid-segment theorem states that a mid-segment is parallel to the third side and is half of the original. So what that means, guys, is, and you know this, if this is 10, this is going to be 5 and 5. And that also exists from R to XY. So if this is 30, XY is going to be 15. So when you look at your example number 3, this line is 35. This is going to be a midpoint, and that's going to be a midpoint. So half of 35 is going to be x. That's going to get me 17.5 or 17.5. Let's take a look at our last word problem. We've got a cat that's stuck in a tree, and a fireman is trying to rescue it. Based on the figure, if a fireman climbs to the top of the ladder, how far away is the cat? Okay, so it looks like they got the ladder up here, this line, and this line are going to be parallel. And then we got to figure out how far the cat is, because this is actually where our line is. All right, so let's take a look. Again, I have parallel lines, so I'm thinking I'm going to do top 30 over bottom 40. So I'm going to take 30 over 40 equals X is the top, 46 is the bottom. All right, I'm canceling, I'm reducing. You guys keep that in mind. Try and use that whenever you can. There's 3/4. All right, and cross multiplying, 4x equals 3 times 46. 4x equals, let's see, 3 times 46, 138. Divide by 4, 34.5 feet. All right, short lesson today. You guys have an awesome evening, and I'll see you in class tomorrow. And the total. Those same relationships apply if you just have parallel lines. And so you could take A over B equals C over D, or you could take A over the total equals C over the total. And then you could also take the bottom, which is B over the total, and D over the total.